The following is a talk given by His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj on April 8th, 2016 in Sri Mayapur, India. The talk was about pastimes Gurudev had with Srila Prabhupada and was given on the Lotus Building rooftop.
Makakaroti Rachano Pangulangaya Tegarim Yat Kripa Tamahan Mande Segurundi Dhainam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Ishram Hari Om Tat Sat. So I start today's recitation with some Prabhupada Lila.
I'll start today's recitation with some Prabhupada Lila.
Is that all right?
Is that all right?
It's okay.
It's okay?
When Prabhupada would go around, he would see the deities, he'd circumambulate 3 times.
When Prabhupada would go around and see the deities, he'd circumambulate 3 times.
And each time, he would ring the bell.
And each time he would ring the bell.
Sometimes there were 2 bells.
Sometimes there were 2 bells.
But sometimes only 1 bell worked.
But sometimes only 1 bell worked.
Somehow the bell coming out seemed to be the one working.
And sometimes the bell coming out seemed to be the one working.
So Prabhupada would stop and ring the bell.
So Prabhupada would stop and ring the bell.
And then he would jump up and down.
And then we would jump up and down.
With the kirtan.
With the kirtan.
The bell ringing.
And the bell ringing.
So this was a very ecstatic pastime that Srila Prabhupada did every day.
Pastime that Srila Prabhupada did every day.
At that time, there was the small Radha Madhav and the Lord Chaitanya.
At that time, there was the small Radha Madhav and Lord Chaitanya.
Lord Chaitanya came later.
Lord Chaitanya came later.
He had the Shaligram.
When we had the Shaligram.
Srila Prabhupada said if you have a brass Lord Chaitanya, you had to have a Shaligram.
Srila Prabhupada said if you had a brass Lord Chaitanya, you had to have a Shaligram.
I don't know why, but he said that.
I don't know why, but he said that.
So that time the temple was where the Chaitanya exhibit is now.
At that time the temple was where the Chaitanya exhibit is now.
The deities were looking to the west.
And the deities were looking to the west.
Prabhupada was at the other end on Vyasasana looking to the east.
And Prabhupada was on the other end on the Vyasasana looking to the east.
And that same asana, the stone asana, was shifted to where it is now.
And that same asana, the stone asana, was shifted to where it is now.
Maybe some aspect was improved, but by and large it's the same.
Maybe some aspect was improved, but by and large the same.
Srila Prabhupada sometimes came up on the roof and walked around.
Srila Prabhupada sometimes came up on the roof and walked around.
At that time there was no conch building.
That time there was no conch building.
No temple extension.
No temple extension.
And no Sankirtan building.
And no Sankirtan building.
There was a Chakra building.
There was the Chakra building.
And maybe at some time there was the part of the Gada building.
And maybe at some time there was part of the Gada building.
So you had a fairly good view
So we had a fairly good view
of this lotus rooftop.
from this lotus rooftop.
You could see all the way to the Goshala,
You could see all the way to the Goshala,
to the Taranpur Road,
to the Taranpur Road,
to the Yogpit,
to the Jogpeet,
and up and down the road.
and up and down the road.
One day he was saying how we could allow to stay here in Mayapur.
One time he was saying how we could allow Muslims to stay here in Mayapur.
They could perform their 5 prayers a day,
And they could perform their 5 prayers a day,
namaz.
their namaz.
But they had to attend all the artis,
But they had to attend all the artis
chant 16 round japa.
and chant 16 rounds of japa.
They could also do their namaz.
They could also do their namaz.
You know, Prabhupada, what he was thinking of, it was always amazing.
So Prabhupada, whatever he was thinking up, it was always amazing.
He would think of things, how to engage different people.
He would think of things, how to engage different people.
One year, he came back to India via Tehran.
One year he came back to India via Tehran.
And stopping in Iran, he discussed with some of the Islamic pundits.
And stopping in Iran, he discussed with some of the Islamic pundits.
So he shared his discussion in the Calcutta temple when he arrived there.
So he discussed the discussion in the Calcutta temple when he arrived there.
You can hear the class on the arrival address in Calcutta. I forget, either 72 or 75.
You can hear the class on the arrival address in Calcutta in, I forget, 72 or 75.
He was saying that they came to an agreement that Allah Akbar
But he was saying that they came to an agreement that Allahu Akbar
meant the absolute truth, or the Param
meant the absolute truth or the Param Brahma,
Parameshwar.
Parameshwar.
So that was also a name of Krishna.
So that was also a name of Krishna.
Then when he was walking here upstairs,
Then when he was walking here upstairs,
there was a husband and wife reading Shastra together.
there was a husband and wife reading Shastra together.
Looked quite Krishna conscious.
Looked quite Krishna conscious.
But Prabhupada said they should read together in their house.
But Prabhupada said they should read together in their house.
He said no fish talk.
He said no fish talk.
In a public place.
In a public place.
So when Prabhupada went around, he would really comment on anything he thought needed adjusting.
So when Prabhupada would walk around, he would freely comment on anything that needed adjusting.
If he saw some paper or some refuse,
If he saw some paper or some refuse,
he would say, "What is that?"
he would say, "What is that?"
and we had to immediately pick it up and be sure that tomorrow there'd be no refuse there.
We would have to immediately pick it up and make sure tomorrow there would be no refuse there.
No excuse.
No excuse.
You couldn't give Prabhupada an excuse.
You couldn't give Prabhupada any excuse.
If you try to give an excuse, you'd be shut down.
If you tried to give an excuse, you'd be shot down.
One day, he had allowed some godbrother to stay in what is now shops. At that time, there were just rooms.
So at one time, Prabhupada allowed his godbrother to stay in what is now the shops. At that time, there were just rooms.
And then he asked, where is he staying?
And then he asked, where is he staying?
I pointed out which room he was staying in.
So we pointed out which room he was staying in.
I went,
So then he went,
hit the door with his cane.
hit the door with his cane.
The guy came out,
The guy came out,
mucus in his eyes.
mucus in his eyes.
Prabhupada said, he shouldn't stay here.
Prabhupada said he shouldn't stay here.
He was also very strict.
He was also very strict.
And so on one hand he was soft as a rose, liberal, on the other hand he was strict.
So on one hand he was as soft as a rose, liberal, but on the other hand he was strict.
When you leave the temple, there was a group of mainly Nepali Brahmins, Pandits.
When he would leave the temple, there was a group mainly of the Nepali Brahmins and Pandits,
who were all young men.
who were all young men.
They had composed a poem for Prabhupada in Sanskrit.
They had composed a poem for Prabhupada in Sanskrit.
So they chanted that poem,
So they chanted that poem,
and they leaned over the railing on the second floor
and he leaned over the railing on the second floor
and listened to their offering.
and listened to their offering.
I didn't memorize that,
I didn't memorize that,
but it was all sounded like very nice Sanskrit.
but it sounded like very nice Sanskrit.
But I'm not a Sanskrit critic.
But I'm not a Sanskrit critique.
But Prabhupada, he accepted that what they were offering him was very nice.
But Prabhupada accepted that what they were offering him was very nice.
And then the local Muslim villagers, they wanted to perform a stick dance.
And then the local Muslim villagers wanted to perform a stick dance,
Stick fighting,
a stick fighting,
dramatic performance for Prabhupada.
dramatic performance for Prabhupada.
So I said, all right,
So he said, all right,
although it was not at all Krishna conscious,
although it was not at all Krishna conscious.
but he was engaging them.
But he was engaging them.
So they played this drama of a dacoity or armed robbery.
So they played this drama of a dacoit, or an armed robbery,
Fought with their sticks,
and fought with their sticks.
expert at whirling them around.
They were expert at whirling them around.
And then one took kerosene in his mouth
And then one took kerosene in his mouth
and blew it out over a flame.
and blew it out over a flame.
Must have tasted horrible.
Must have tasted horrible.
Big flame came out.
But a big flame came out.
So Prabhupada watched while they did this stick fighting.
So Prabhupada watched while they did this stick fighting.
So somehow, although they were doing a mundane thing,
So somehow, although they were doing a mundane thing,
it was actually a yukta vairagya because he was accepting it as a seva.
but it was actually Yukta Vairagya because he was accepting it as a seva.
One day, our high tension wire was going over the chakra building.
One day our high tension wire was going over the chakra building.
This was the West Bengal government 11,000 volt wire.
This was the West Bengal government 11,000 volt wire.
And it was so powerful, it literally sucked up the contractor.
And it was so powerful that it literally sucked up the contractor.
Electrocuted.
And he was getting electrocuted.
Took that fluid, knock him off.
We had to take a bamboo and knock him off.
And he survived, but he was not the same after that.
He survived, but he was not the same after that.
So Prabhupada was there when this happened, as far as I remember.
So Prabhupada was there when this happened, as far as I remember.
And he had us take him to the hospital.
And he had us take him to the hospital.
Where he was treated.
Where he was treated.
Prabhupada would have letters. At that time, most of the correspondence came by letter.
At that time, most of the correspondence came by letter.
Sometimes by telex.
Sometimes by telex.
No email then.
There was no email then.
No WhatsApp, no Facebook.
No WhatsApp, no Facebook.
Just snail mail.
Just snail mail.
So Prabhupada would keep the envelopes.
So Prabhupada would keep the envelopes.
And write on the inside.
He'd write on the inside.
Not to waste any of Krishna's energy.
Not to waste any of Krishna's energy.
One day, he would answer every day the letters. And he would read the letter and he would answer. The secretary would take notes.
So he would answer letters every day. He would read the letter and then he would answer. The secretary would take notes.
The secretary would type it up.
And the secretary would type it up.
And then Prabhupada would sign it.
Then Prabhupada would sign it.
Mailed out.
And that would be mailed out.
So this would happen usually in the morning.
So this would happen usually in the morning.
After breakfast.
After breakfast.
And sometime before lunch, some VIP guests would come and he would speak to them.
Sometimes before lunch, some VIP guests would come and he would speak to them.
That time the Home Minister was Dharamkanti Ghosh.
At that time, the Home Minister was Dharamkanti Ghosh.
Father was Tusharkanti Ghosh.
His father was Tusharkanti Ghosh.
And his grandfather was some famous Vaishnava.
And his grandfather was a famous Vaishnava.
In the book, the seventh Goswami.
Who had written the book, the seventh Goswami.
Glorified Bhaktivinoda Thakur.
Where he glorified Bhaktivinoda Thakur.
So, the Gaudiya Math had, at that time, the president of India was Zail Singh, a Sikh.
At that time, the president of India was Dale Singh, a Sikh.
He came to the joke pit by helicopter.
And he came to the Jog Beat by helicopter.
And so thousands of us came to watch a helicopter. Wow, like in the West, if you could see a flying saucer, it was a helicopter. Wow.
So thousands of people came and to watch the helicopter, and it's like in the West, if a flying saucer came, they were like, "Wow, a helicopter."
And the crowd was watching
Prabhupada was watching
here,
from here.
and he was at that time we didn't have so many visitors,
At that time, we didn't have so many visitors,
and the Gaudiya Math was having lots of visitors,
and the Gaudiya Math was having lots of visitors,
and especially these top government people.
and especially these top government people.
The President of India was a big thing.
So the president of India was a big thing.
I don't know why he came
I don't know why he came
to inaugurate something or other,
to inaugurate something or another.
but anyway, he came and he came by helicopter.
But anyway, he came and he came by helicopter.
So we went up to greet him and invite him to come.
So we went up to greet him and invite him to come.
But last minute they don't change their program.
But at the last minute, they don't change their program.
So he took our garland. He did what he had to do, and then they off.
So he took our garland and said thank you.
I don't know whatever he did it, and they flew off.
And whatever he did it, and then he flew off.
So Prabhupada was thinking that we should also have someone come by helicopter.
So Prabhupada was thinking that we should also have someone come by helicopter.
And then it was like Krishna fulfilled his desire.
And then it was like Krishna fulfilled his desire.
Because Tarun Ghosh, as the home minister, he also had a helicopter.
Because Tarun Kanti Ghosh, as the home minister, he also had a helicopter.
So I came here by helicopter.
So he came here by helicopter.
And all the people gathered and saw his helicopter.
And then all the people gathered and saw his helicopter.
And he was sitting on the second floor veranda taking a prasadam.
Then he was sitting on the second floor veranda taking prasadam.
And then one head of an ashram in Navadip came over.
And then one head of an ashram in Navadip came over.
And at first we saw that this lady was serving him.
And he saw this lady was serving him.
But then she turned around.
Then she turned around.
She had a big beard.
She had a big beard.
She was a Sakhi Vikki.
She was a Sakhi Beki.
That means a man who dresses up like a woman to get in the mood of being a Sakhi.
That means a man who dresses like a woman to get in the mood of being a Sakhi.
You know, so these things are overlooked by Prabhupada.
Anyway, these things were overlooked by Prabhupada.
So he greeted Tarun Ghosh. They talked for some time.
So he greeted Tarun Kanti Ghosh and they talked for some time.
He showed us how to be a host.
He showed us how to be a host
By sitting down and supervising the service.
by sitting down and supervising the service.
Served out prasadam.
We served out prasadam
Leaf on a banana leaf plate.
on a banana leaf plate.
So that reminds me that one time Shankardi Ghosh had invited Prabhupada to visit his temple.
That reminds me that one time Tarun Kanti Ghosh had invited Prabhupada to visit his temple.
His temple was outside of Barasat,
His temple was outside of Barasat,
just between Barasat and the airport.
just between Barasat and the airport.
And every day they were the owners of the famous papers.
They were the owners of the famous papers,
Jugantar in Bengali,
the Jugantar in Bengali,
and the Amrit Prasad Patrika in English.
and the Amrit Bajar Patrika in English.
After Shankardi Ghosh left, they ceased to publish.
After Tarun Kanti Ghosh left, they ceased to publish. I don't know why.
But he would do abhishek of his Gauranga Didi,
But he would do an abhishek of his Gauranga Didi,
and the water of the Didi would flow down over the newspaper.
and the water from the Didi would flow down on this newspaper.
Maybe the newspaper was staying in print because of the mercy of getting the Charnamrita of the Didi.
Maybe the newspaper was staying in print because of the mercy of getting the Charanamrita of the deity.
But that time we also had a number of us with Prabhupada, and he gave out the banana leaf plates.
At that time, there were a number of us with Prabhupada, and he gave out the banana leaf plates.
Made from banana leaves, had cups of dal.
Made from banana leaves were cups of dal,
Several cups of different types of dal.
several cups of different types of dal.
Some chutney, some pakoras,
Some chutney, some pakoras,
sabjis,
some sabjis,
and sweet rice.
and sweet rice.
Are ready to bust.
We were ready to bust.
And then he came out and he had rasgulla.
And then he came out and he had rasgulla. He said, no, we can't take.
No, you just take it, wiggle it down.
He said, no, you just take it and you wiggle it down.
And he wiggled it.
And he wiggled it.
Like that, he forced us all to take rasgulla.
So like that, he forced us all to take rasgulla.
And because Prabhupada was with us,
Because Prabhupada was with us,
the whole experience was transcendental.
the whole experience was transcendental.
I remember one day we were walking on the road
I remember one day we were walking on the road
with Srila Prabhupada,
with Srila Prabhupada,
and he said, in the winter you just let the cows out to graze.
and he said, in the winter you just let the cows out to graze.
But I thought, well, it's colder in the winter,
But I thought, well, it's colder in the winter,
so we should get some blanket or some cloth over the cows.
so we should give some blanket or some cloth over the cows.
I tried to interject and say this to Prabhupada.
And I tried to interject and say this to Prabhupada.
And it was imputed on me to speak over Srila Prabhupada.
And it was impudent of me to speak over Srila Prabhupada.
So suddenly, he just stopped speaking.
So suddenly he just stopped speaking.
And I wasn't there.
And it was like I wasn't there.
And I realized I blew it.
And I realized I blew it.
And I was crying.
And I was crying.
felt like a real operatic.
I felt like a real aparadhi.
And then in front of Prabhupada, and I offered my obeisance.
So I ran in front of Prabhupada and I offered my obeisances.
And then he resumed talking to me again.
Then he resumed talking to me again.
Other things I'm not sure whether I spoke before or not.
Other things I'm not sure if I spoke before or not.
These I didn't speak.
I think these I didn't speak.
Any questions?
Any questions?
Were there floods when deities were in the hut where 24 hours kirtana? And if there were floods, what did you do with deities? Where did they stay during floods?
Were there floods when the deities were in the grass hut? And if they were, what did you do with the deities?
I don't think that there was a flood before we had deities.
There was a flood before we had deities.
At that time, Vipra Sudama was in the grass hut.
And at that time, Vipra Sudama was in the grass hut.
And he went inside the hut.
And he went inside the hut.
The water kept rising up.
And the water kept rising up.
So he thought that if I stay here, I'm going to get drowned.
So he thought that if I stay here, I'm going to get drowned.
So then he took a deep breath and he dived under and tried to go out.
So then he took a deep breath and tried to dive under and go out.
But he hit his leg in the veranda.
But he hit his leg in the veranda.
And it was slightly injured. And it was slightly injured.
And it was slightly injured.
And he swam downstream to the Goswami Mutt.
And then he swam downstream to the Goswami Mutt.
And stayed there.
And stayed there.
At the time we didn't have deities.
At that time we didn't have deities.
I don't remember a flood when they had the deity in the front.
I don't remember that there was a flood when we had the deities in the front.
But I think right after that we started the Lotus building.
I think right after that we started the Lotus building. This building.
This cost us 6,25,000 rupees.
This cost us 6,25,000 rupees.
I built it.
I built it.
Now you can't even buy a cut of land.
Now you can't even buy a cut of land.
So, we may have had a flood after that.
So we may have had a flood after that.
I mean, every 6 or 8 years we have floods.
I mean, every 6 or 8 years we've had floods.
So, I think we must have brought the deity upstairs.
So I think we must have brought the deity upstairs.
But I don't remember how it said.
But I don't remember exactly.
How come the Tarun Kanti Ghosh had a great Vaishnava, Shishir Kumar Ghosh, his grandfather, but still he was not practicing Vaishnava principles?
Oh, no, the Vaishnava system at that time was a bit compromised.
You know, the Vaishnava system at that time was a bit compromised.
There were many Upper Sampradayas.
There were many Upasampradayas.
And most people didn't follow all the rules and regulations.
And most people didn't follow all the rules and regulations.
He would chant japa,
He would chant japa,
and in his temple he would only have vegetarian meals.
and in his temple he would only have vegetarian meals.
In his house, he probably ate fish.
But in his house he probably ate fish. I don't know.
But it's like in Jagannath Puri. It says eating fish is considered vegetarian.
But it's like in Jagannath Puri, eating fish is considered vegetarian.
In the Shastra,
In the Shastra.
someone asked Bhaktisiddhanta, why don't we eat fish?
Someone asked Bhaktisiddhanta, why don't we eat fish?
And he said, don't say that you get Krishna prema by being vegetarian.
He said that it doesn't say you get Krishna Prem by being vegetarian.
You have to eat Krishna prasada,
You have to eat Krishna Prasadam.
and you get offer fish to Lord Jagannath.
And you can't offer fish to Lord Jagannath.
Some of the so-called Vaishnavas,
So some of the so-called Vaishnavas,
they respect the Vaishnava principle, they respect Vaishnavas,
they respect the Vaishnava principles, they respect the Vaishnavas,
but to what extent they follow
but to what extent they follow
may vary from one person to the next.
may vary from one person to the next.
This is also in the time of Lord Chaitanya.
This was also in the time of Lord Chaitanya.
When Sadhu and Srila invited them to have a morning fruit bowl. Sadhu
When Sadhu and Swarupganj invited him, invited Nitai Gaur
take the volume bowl of breakfast offering to his deity.
to take the morning bhog offering for his deity.
That was really fruits.
That was mainly fruits.
So that Sadhu was so happy to be giving Gaur time.
So that Sadhu was so happy in giving Gaur Nitai deities,
Not deity, the person,
the persons,
his fruit prasadam,
his fruit prasadam,
and he asked if they would stay for lunch.
that he asked if they would stay for lunch.
And he said, I'll get you a nice fish.
And he said, I'll get you a nice fish.
And then they both looked at each other and said, you take fish.
And they both looked at each other and said, you take fish?
He said, fruit of the river.
He said, fruit of the river.
They threw down the fruit they're eating,
They threw down the fruit that they were eating,
and the Ganges,
ran to the Ganges,
jumped in with all their clothes.
and jumped in with all their clothes.
There's a lot of stories like this that I heard.
There's a lot of stories like this that I heard.
All right?
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,